Have you ever felt like people see your age before they see you? It's something I hear a lot from folks I work with. They don't listen to me like they used to, or I feel invisible sometimes. But here's what I want you to know. Getting older doesn't mean getting smaller. You've lived, learned, survived, and you still matter. In this video, I'd like to share a few gentle but powerful things you can do to protect your well-being and keep your confidence strong. Sometimes the first thing I tell people is this: it's okay to speak up, even if your voice shakes a little. When someone is rude or dismissive, it can make you feel smaller, like your opinion doesn't matter anymore. That hurts. Not just emotionally, but physically too. The stress adds up. I've seen it cause trouble with sleep, digestion, even heart health. And if this happens often enough, you might start believing those rude voices more than your own. But there's a quiet kind of power in learning how to say, "That's not okay," with calm and confidence. I remember working with a gentleman named Henry, 72 years old, from Dayton, Ohio. We were talking about everyday things when he told me about an experience at the grocery store. A younger clerk was joking around, and when Henry asked a question, the kid said, "Why do you care? You're old." Henry just froze. He didn't want a scene, so he walked away, but it stayed with him. He felt embarrassed, even ashamed. He told me, "I wish I had said something, anything." So we talked it through, came up with a few lines he could keep in his back pocket. A couple weeks later, something similar happened again. And this time, Henry looked the person in the eye and said, "I'd appreciate if you showed a little respect. I've earned that much." He said the kid was stunned and apologized. But more importantly, Henry felt taller walking out of that store. What often helps in moments like this is practicing a few short, respectful phrases ahead of time. Try saying them out loud when you're alone. Things like, "Yimuri, please speak to me with respect," or "My age doesn't make me invisible." The goal isn't to start a fight. It's just to stand your ground with grace. You don't need to raise your voice to be heard. Even the quietest voices carry weight when they come from someone who believes in their worth. Here's something that often gets overlooked. The body wants to move, even as we get older. A lot of people slow down because they think it's safer. And sure, you should always listen to your limits. But stopping movement altogether, that can actually make things worse. When your muscles don't get used, they shrink. That means more stiffness, slower balance, and a higher risk of falls or injuries. I've met many folks who thought they were just getting old, when really their bodies were asking for just a little more daily movement. One woman I worked with, Mary, 68, from Tallahassee, had a tough year. She slipped on some wet leaves, broke her hip, and spent months recovering. After her surgery, she told me she felt like her life had shrunk to her chair and her television. "I'm afraid to move now," she said. "What if I fall again?" We started small. I showed her how to do gentle exercises sitting down, lifting her heels, rolling her shoulders, even squeezing a soft ball in her hand to keep her grip strong. She started doing just 10 minutes a day. 3 weeks in, she called me and said, "I walked down my driveway this morning, and I didn't feel scared." That's when I saw her smile return, and it all started with tiny steps. One of the simplest ways to protect your strength is to do a bit of movement every day, even from your chair. Try rolling your ankles, lifting your knees one at a time, or reaching your arms gently overhead. 10 to 15 minutes is enough to keep your muscles and joints awake. Even the smallest stretch is a message to your body: I'm still here, and I'm still going. Movement doesn't have to be big to be brave. Let me tell you, feeling lonely isn't just about being alone. It's about feeling disconnected, like your voice doesn't echo back to anyone anymore. And as we get older, that kind of silence gets heavier. Some friends move away, some pass on, families get busy. But isolation isn't just an emotional thing, it's physical too. I've seen it lead to memory problems, higher blood pressure, even weaker immunity. Staying connected, in whatever way feels right to you, can be just as important as taking your medicine. I remember a man named Thomas, 74, from Eugene, Oregon. He lost his wife 2 years ago and told me, "I just don't have the energy to see people anymore." For a while he stayed home, only leaving for groceries. One day, his son brought him a tablet and said, "Just try this. No pressure. Thomas was skeptical, but we set it up together. He joined a virtual veterans group that met once a week. The first meeting, he just listened. The second, he introduced himself. And by the third, he was cracking jokes with another guy from Kansas City. He later told me, "I forgot how good it feels to laugh with someone." That spark, it came back slow but steady. What often helps is starting with one small connection a day. You could call an old friend, join a local group, or even say hello to the same neighbor every morning. Online or in person, either way it counts. The important thing is to reach out. You don't have to go far to feel close. A voice, a smile, a short chat. Sometimes that's all it takes to remember that you still belong to the world. You know, one of the hardest things I hear from older folks is, they don't take me seriously anymore. It can happen slowly. People talking over you, making decisions for you, treating you like you're fragile or confused. That kind of thing wears on a person. It makes you feel invisible. And over time, if no one listens, you might stop speaking up altogether. But your voice still matters. And setting gentle boundaries isn't being rude. It's being clear about what you need and deserve. I once worked with a woman named Linda. She was 70 and living with her daughter's family in Phoenix. She told me, "They love me, but I feel like furniture in my own home." Her family made plans without her, assumed what she wanted, even answered questions for her at the doctor's office. We talked about how she might speak up in a calm, kind way. She tried it one evening at dinner. When someone interrupted her, she said, "Please let me finish. I'd like to be heard." She said the room went quiet. But something shifted. Over time, her family began to pause and ask, "Mom, what do you think?" That one sentence reminded them, and herself, that she still had a voice worth listening to. What often helps is having a few clear phrases ready. You can say, "I'd like to be included in that decision," or, "That's not how I see it, and I'd like to share my view." Simple, respectful, and firm. You don't have to argue, and just take your space. You have every right to stand tall in your own story. Boundaries aren't walls. They're doors you choose when to open. Let's talk about something that often slips under the radar: what you eat and how it fuels your body. As we age, our appetite might shrink, but our need for good nutrition doesn't get any smaller. Sometimes people eat less because food doesn't taste the same or they don't feel hungry. But when the body doesn't get enough protein, vitamins, or water, it can lead to weakness, slower healing, and lower energy, all things that make daily life harder. It's easy to think, "I don't need much now," but your body still needs good fuel to keep going strong. I remember a man named Robert, 76, living in Des Moines, Iowa. He came to me feeling tired all the time and losing weight without trying. After talking, we realized he hadn't been eating enough protein, mostly bread and sweets because they were easy to prepare. I suggested simple changes like adding eggs in the morning, fish a couple of times a week, and a daily glass of milk or yogurt. Within a month, Robert told me, "I feel stronger and I even look healthier." He was surprised how small changes made such a big difference in his energy and mood. One of the easiest things you can do is add a good source of protein to every meal, whether it's eggs, beans, fish, or dairy. Also, don't forget to drink plenty of water even if you don't feel thirsty. Dehydration sneaks up on you. Small steps like these can make your days brighter and your body more resilient. Your body deserves the best fuel you can give it. Think of food as the gentle power that keeps your heart beating and your smile shining. One thing I often remind people is that the mind needs exercise just like the body. Sometimes we think memory loss or confusion is just part of getting old. But the truth is your brain thrives on challenge and stimulation. Without it, your thinking can slow down, and little forgetfulness can turn into bigger worries. Keeping your mind active, even with simple, fun activities, helps keep your memory sharp and your mood bright. It's never too late to start, and the benefits show up in daily life, making everything feel a bit easier. I worked with a woman named Susan, 69, from Richmond, Virginia. She told me she was worried about forgetting things, like names and dates, and it was making her anxious. I suggested she try spending 10-15 minutes every day doing crossword puzzles or Sudoku, or even playing word games on her phone. She started small and found she actually enjoyed it. A few weeks later, she said, "I feel more alert and it's like my brain woke up again." She shared how this little daily habit gave her a new sense of control and confidence. One of the best ways to keep your brain healthy is to find a game or activity you enjoy. It could be a puzzle, reading, or even learning a new hobby. Just 10 minutes a day is a gentle but powerful workout for your mind. Remember, your brain is like a muscle that grows stronger the more you use it. Every small effort is a step toward a clearer, sharper you. Here's something I always encourage. Be kind to yourself with your words. As we grow older, it's easy to fall into the trap of negative self-talk, thinking, "I'm too old," or "I can't do this anymore." Those thoughts chip away at confidence and joy, but the way you speak to yourself can change everything. Positive, gentle words build resilience and help you face each day with more courage. It's not about pretending everything's perfect. It's about recognizing your worth and treating yourself like a dear friend would. I remember John, 71, from Madison, Wisconsin. He told me that every night before bed, he would write down 3 things he did well that day, even if they were small, like watering the plants or calling a friend. At first, it felt strange to praise himself. But after a few weeks, John said, "I actually started believing I was doing okay, that I mattered." That simple habit helped him feel more hopeful and less stuck in worry. One easy practice is to say to yourself each morning or night, "I am enough," or "I am doing my best," and that is enough. Write down one thing you're proud of, no matter how small. This gentle self-kindness plants seeds of strength over time. You deserve your own kindness and respect every single day. Think of it like watering a flower. Small acts of love help you bloom brighter than you might believe. Here's something I want you to remember as we wrap up. You are not alone on this journey. Every step you take, even the smallest one, matters and moves you forward. Life keeps unfolding, and with each new day comes new strength and hope. If you found any of these tips helpful, please share your thoughts or your own stories in the comments. Your experience can inspire others. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you won't miss more warm and supportive advice designed just for you. Remember, you are stronger than you think, and your life is precious. Keep holding on to it gently. The best is yet to come.